Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see today we are going to check fresh release from ICM. This is aircraft kit which is modeled in a 1/32 scale, and it copies Ki-86a or K9W1 Cypress. It's a Japan training aircraft which was used during World War II, but as you can guess, this kit is based on the previous release from ICM in the same scale. And feel free to write it in the comment section below which one was used as a basis for this kit. Nevertheless, today we have a commercial sample, so it means you will get exactly the same kit if you order it from any good model shop. For example, Modelimex should have it for sure. So as you can see on the box art, we can see two pilots flying over Japan, I guess. Here we can see even some train. Then on the side we have some history note and also short information about the kit. So there are 95 parts, which is quite surprising for such big scale. And finished model will have wingspan of 231 millimeters. And here is, by the way, the short history note. And from the other side, as far as I can guess, we have the same marking option as the one depicted on the box art. So here, just to remind you. I guess there will be more markings in the box. We will have to check the assembly manual, so let's open it. And as you can see, the box structure is typical for ICM. We have this color printed top section, and then we have sturdy white cardboard box, which should protect everything inside. But as far as I can understand, there is plenty of space inside. Here you can see all the parts, and all parts are secured into the same plastic bag. But as you can see, there is a lot of extra space, so I guess all parts should be intact when they will come to you. So now we are going to put aside this box and open plastic bag to take a look at those parts. Meanwhile, let me remind you that you can support us financially by pressing the donate button on our website. It is easy and it is safe, and some of you already did it, and that's why we were able to do first, let's say, commercial review. We bought the kit, and with your donations we bought the Revel kit, as you remember, and we reviewed it on our YouTube channel and with the website. So here are all the plastic sprues. I would like to start with the smallest one. Here it is. As you can see, that's a clear sprue which is packed into the separate plastic bag. And now I'm just going to open it and we'll take a closer look. So, okay, let's bring it closer. I'll refocus the camera, and now you should be able to see it. So here we have two windshields, and also we have two dashboards. Molding quality is really good, so I don't have any complaints about the quality. The only thing you should be ready is to cut the masks, and maybe you can get some aftermarket set which will help you with this. Next we have first gray plastic sprue. Let's zoom in so that you can see all the parts closer. Here we have the cowling parts, and as far as I can guess, this sprue is specific for Japanese aircraft, because before you could assemble the German trainer version, now you can assemble the Japanese version. And now we are going to do the zoom mode so that you can see all those parts closer. So let's go. As you can see, power division did not change, so we have separate cowling panels, and also, as far as I can guess, there should be some possibility to open them. We have one piece, actually not one piece, we have only one half of the landing gear wheels, so I guess they will have to be combined with previous ones. Here we have the frontal section of the engine cowling, and I will just put aside this sprue so that I can show you some comparison with parts which will be coming on the next two sprues. So here we have the first big plastic sprue which carries fuselage halves and also wing parts. Let's zoom out a bit so that you can see them. Here they are. As far as I remember, wings should be assembled out of two halves. Note that the left fuselage half has also the tail segment pre-molded, so I guess it will serve as a guiding element. Here you can see it. And also, external detailing looks really good. Here, by the way, we have the cooling panels. And just to show you the, let's say, difference, here you can see the obvious difference between those two parts. And also here you can see or compare those two parts. So there are some noticeable differences, and that's why it was decided to have a separate frame. Now we are going to do the zoom mode so that you can see all those parts with your own eyes. So just give me a second, we focus the camera and let's go. So that was the first sprue, and then we have the second one. So as you remember, there are not that many parts in this kit. That's why there are only two big sprues and one small. Here you can see the last gray plastic sprue, and ICM placed here the wing half. We also have the wheel parts, we have the frontal cowling part, some landing gear parts, as well as cockpit elements, because as you remember, cockpit should be glued out of separate panels, which will have to be connected together. So as for landing gear wheels, here you can see the difference between those two parts, and also note the cowling difference. So as you can see, here we have completely different air intake holes, and from the other side it will be approximately the same installation process, because here we have the raised surface and here it was the same. And note that engine will be used, it is still the same power plant, so I would recommend to search for some aftermarket sets. I think Edward released some PE for this aircraft, which will come handy in this case. And by the way, here we have the cooling panels again. We have here the main difference in those holes. Now let's zoom in and do the zoom mode, because some other parts will be used in this build for sure, so it's worth checking them out. Okay, so that was the last plastic sprue. By the way, I always forget to remind you that if you are watching this video review, I mean, doesn't matter on what you are watching, be it the tablet or PC, don't forget to switch to the full video quality, full HD quality. This way you will be able to see more in the video review. Here we have the last bonus in the plastic kit. So as you can see, that's assembly manual, which is printed in form of this A4 brochure. We have short history note in Russian and English, also some technical specifications, paints chart. And then here we have the parts map. Obviously some parts won't be used because they will be replaced with Japan specific parts. And here you can see the decals sheet, which carries all necessary symbols for several marking options as far as I can guess. Note that we even have here some decals for the dashboard, and that's pretty much all. No seat belts, nothing. So if you would like to replicate seat belts, you will have to get them as an aftermarket set, or maybe even to do with your own tools. Now let's turn over the page. Here we have the first assembly steps. So as you can see, everything starts with wing. Here we have the cockpit floor, which is actually installed onto the wing. Here we continue with cockpit walls, which go inside the fuselage halves, and we also assemble the engine. Engine can be nicely detailed with adding wiring, because this is a 1/32 scale, so I would recommend to do this. Then we continue by joining fuselage halves together. We install the tail wings. We continue with cowling parts. Then here we install dashboard and pilot seat. Here we have the separate doors for the pilot and co-pilot places. Here note that engine is installed by 4 points, so I would recommend to use some good glue here in order to have a nice joint. Then we continue with the frontal cowling section as well as the propeller. Here windshields installed. Then we go with cowling panels once again, but this time they're attached from the bottom. And note, by the way, that those cutouts, as you remember, we had them in the cowling here, and also this part, they will have to be combined like this in order to get the exhausts through the cowling. Here we have the assembly process for the top wing. Then we glue the wheels and also landing gear legs. And as far as I remember, there should be some rigging on the aircraft, so be ready to do this, because otherwise the aircraft won't look exactly the same as the real one. And here we have the marking guide for 3 marking options. As you can see, there's slightly different style, I would say, for ICM, because here we have the side profiles and then we have the top and bottom depicted like this. But why they're shown like this? Because we have quite monotone marking options, so I guess it won't be difficult to understand what you have to do with this. And here we have the 4th marking option. That's the same which is depicted on the Boxart, so if you would like to replicate it, you have slightly more extensive marking guide, but I think it was done like this due to this camouflage which you can see here. And note that there are several options. Actually, this is for the lower wing camouflage, as you can see here. So overall, this is as good kit as those 1/32 scale training kits we saw before. And again, we have small parts amount, which should be useful for beginners, but beginners should keep in mind that we have also the rigging to do, and it will be quite an interesting task to work with, even though 1/32 scale might make it a bit easier. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this kit. Write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Bye.